Hi, Kevin Thomas Morgan here of InspirationalSelfHelpBooks.com. And boy, when you get into your 80s, you need as much inspiration as you can get. Anyways, a brief video describing how I prepare for half Ironman and Ironman races. This was the White Lake half Ironman, which I did with a friend I coached. And there were three of us. There was also my friend Fritz, who is deceased, but I always take his ashes along for memory's sake. Anyway, I'm now going to describe my setup for the race. And if you want more details, then you have to go to my newsletter where I'm going to write a race report. Okay, so that's it. Let's get on with it. I run through the race in my mind several times to make sure I don't forget something. It's complicated, and I'm going to show you how complicated it really is. So let's go through my gear laid out on the bed at 4 in the morning, and I'll tell you what these things are for. Well, for start, I have a watch, keep track of the time. You see it's 4:13 in the morning. I eat a banana sandwich, and that's important to get some food in you early. I wear this old shirt I created ages ago, FitOldDog. And then I also have a mouth guard to protect my upper teeth, which are all crowns and implants from shocks on the bike. Over here is a flashlight, which is very helpful when you're racking your bike early morning or checking everything's okay. I have Tri-Slide, which really helps a lot. You spray that inside your wetsuit if it's wetsuit legal. They're still deciding on that. Wearing a wetsuit will take about 5 minutes off my time, just because you're so high in the water. But either way, it's a 1.2 mile swim, a double loop. So it's an enjoyable early morning swim. So over here, I have a water bottle I carry around in the morning to hydrate. That's pretty important. And that plastic bag, that's an interesting trick taught to me by a friend of mine, Maya. You put your feet in it and your hands in it when you're sliding them into the wetsuit. And the plastic bag really helps them slide in, even though you've already sprayed the suit with Tri-Slide. At the back are the ashes of a friend of mine, and I have a small sample in a plastic bag, because I can't carry that on the race, which is sitting right in here in a little plastic bag. So my friend Fritz, who died prematurely from cardiovascular disease, I like to bring him along. And so that's the initial stuff for the morning. Flashlight is very helpful. So I put on the wetsuit if I'm lucky. I put on this gear first and do the swim. So that wakes you up. And then you end up in the swim to bike transition. For that, I need my sunglasses, bike gloves, of course, helmet, which has to be approved helmet, bike shoes. In my bike shoes, I have socks because these tend to chafe. Also, in here, I have some, I usually have things like sunscreen and stuff, but I don't need it for the shorter race. Here's my pump, goes in my back pocket. Of course, loads of sunscreen, put that on before I swim, making sure I don't get it in my goggles. My goggles, by the way, are in my swim cap. You have to wear an approved swim cap. While picking up my my chip this morning, which is unusual, I take one goo before 15 minutes before the swim, because I eat my breakfast about 4, and the gun this time is going off at 7:15. Also in here are my goggles, and for me, I like to have these nose clips because the water gets up my nose and irritates me. So I use these things and they work. Okay, a raincoat in case it's emergency. It's not going to be necessary today. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be a very hot race, in fact. And also I have a towel, dry myself off when I come out of the water, and once I got my wetsuit off, because you have to get this gear on with a wet body. So you go off and you ride your 56 miles, have a great time. Make sure you follow the rules of mounting and dismounting the bike and not drafting. You have to be 6 bike lengths apart. If you pass, you have 25 seconds to get out of that box, the 6 bike length box. And then finally, the fun part for someone like me with peripheral arterial disease, this is a real pain in the butt, and I am yet to fully master my new technique for running with PAD. Is the Ironman hat I got in Finland, which is pretty kind of neat. Run shoes, I use Nike Freeze now. I have some electrolyte tabs, which I might take a couple. I have those also in my bike bottle. Here's my run shoes. I have 4 goos. I take one every 3 miles. And in here I have my number belt, which I have to put on when I start the run. So that's that. So let's go in the other room. Here we go. Just have to flick the light on. My bike, I have 2 water bottles, both with electrolytes. A gear bag in here. Here I have my food in my bento box. And with all that stuff, I'm pretty well ready to go. So, well, hope that was of interest to some of you. And over and out from Kevin Thomas Morgan of InspirationalSelfHelpBooks.com.